Abby Lee Miller is responding to Nia after she just released her new book where she is calling out some of the things that Abby did to her in the Dance Mom days. We're also going to be talking about someone else that called out Abby on Instagram this week. Plus, we're going to talk about Sydney Sweeney being scared to say something on Jimmy Fallon this week, and everyone's like, oh, so that's what you're afraid to say, but not other things. And we're going to get into Trisha Paytas teasing that she's going to be in a new TV show. There's a lot that happened this week, and we're going to get into everything. Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to the weekly TEACAP. You guys, I gotta say, anybody that got a YouTube Wrapped this year and tagged me and said that you watched any video that I made this year, seriously, thank you so much. I saw some people that had the weekly TEACAP as one of their top podcasts, which means the world to me because I've loved making these Sunday videos for you guys so freaking much. And also just anyone that watched like 200, 300 videos in like the top 1%, I was floored. I just genuinely cannot express to you guys how happy it makes me that you actually watch these videos and want to hear what I say about pop culture, entertainment news, just anything that's going on around the internet that I find interesting and want to talk to you guys about. And it is just such a blessing that you guys keep returning because seriously, with those 200 and 300 numbers, I was like, wow, you guys are really tuned in. You guys are really keeping up with my videos. And yeah, I love you guys. So thank you so much. Now, as for the top people I watched this year, you guys, my main account that I watch actually YouTube content on, the account that I have connected to all my TVs, okay, I was ready for them to tell me that my top channels were Ordinary Adventures, Magic Journeys, and my top searches were cruise videos, mukbangs. Like, I was ready, but I didn't get one on my phone. I don't know. I kept refreshing to see if it would give me one, but it didn't. And I watch a lot, and I mean a lot, like before I go to bed at night, I'm freaking sitting there watching these cruise videos. And there's something so fascinating about the food that is on these cruises, especially if it's a Disney cruise. Like, I'm there, I'm watching it, I'm sat, but I didn't get one. So I felt like I missed out on the party a little bit there. But I loved seeing you guys tag me in yours, so thank you again so freaking much. Now, we're just going to get into the news of this week. We're going to start off with Trisha Paytas because she had a big announcement. So Trisha did her Christmas shows in California this week, and she made a big announcement at one of them where she said that she was cast in another show. And she said she couldn't say anything more, but she says it's probably the same as Euphoria, but it's a bigger part. And so everyone was starting to think, you know, what is coming out? What is Trisha going to be in? Is this the White Lotus? That's a show that Trisha has talked about that she loves, that she wants to be on. And honestly, I could see her playing like Tanya's long lost sister or something of the sort, a cousin even.
Oh, it's crazy, but it's my biggest part to date, and it's the biggest show to date. I shouldn't say anything more. That's it. But I already said show. But okay. Well, anyways, that's it. That's all we're saying. If it's probably the same as Euphoria. I don't know. Okay. But it's a bigger part. But we love Euphoria. Anyways, okay.
But there's so much speculation as to what the heck she could be talking about. It also just feels like anything that Trisha says or manifests happens for her, and she's talked about the White Lotus a lot, so it felt like maybe that was going to be it. And with her bringing up Euphoria, I'm like, okay, Euphoria is pretty big. It's on HBO. Is this going to be another HBO show? White Lotus is on HBO. People said, White Lotus, I will cry. She would be perfect for White Lotus. If it's White Lotus, I will scream OMG. Manifesting her in AHS 13. Masked Singer. So there were some non-White Lotus guesses, okay? But I will say that towards the end of this week, I started to kind of change my mind about her being in the White Lotus because there was this clip that was going around of Trisha filming at the airport, and people were saying that it was going to be for Hacks. And I was like, okay, wait, you know, they did have Jake Shane on the last season of Hacks. So to have Trisha on this season, I guess that makes sense that they would be down to pull from the influencer world for another part for their show. Everyone was saying it was for an amazing race scene scene that they were doing, which I guess that makes sense if she was filming at the airport. But I guess we will just have to see. We're just gonna have to see when she makes the announcement or something gets posted in Deadline of what she's gonna be in. But it's so crazy how she just seems to be everywhere and everything, and I still want to know what the heck she's gonna be doing in Euphoria, you guys. I don't know how she's gonna fit into the storyline, but I guess we're gonna just see eventually. Now, as for Sydney Sweeney, you guys, she always seems to have something to say, and 2025's TEACAP should be renamed the Sydney Sweeney recap at this rate, because I feel like we are talking about her so much. Like, ever since the jeans ad, it has just been non-stop stories about Sydney Sweeney, whether she is, you know, doing an interview and people don't like what she's saying, or she's dating Scooter Braun and there's drama there. I mean, there's just been a lot that has been said about her. And well, this week was kind of a plot twist, because this week she was actually afraid to say something, and usually she's getting in trouble for saying something. So people were just like, there's no way she was down to be in that American Eagle ad saying what she was saying and then doubling down in interviews. And then this is what she's afraid to say. So she was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon this week, and she wouldn't say, drum roll please, you guys, 6'7". They were playing a game and Jimmy was trying to get her to describe a scene that was going on behind her. And the scene was 3 Labubus in front of a McDonald's drive-thru doing the 6'7" hands. And Jimmy said that it was a TikTok trend involving numbers, and you would have thought that he asked her to say a literal slur on national television. When she realized what he was asking her to say, she was like, I feel like I'm going to, seeming like she was scared she would get memed or canceled, or I don't even know, but eventually she said it.
TikTok trend involving numbers. Everyone says it, it's not 41.
Oh, I can't say that.
No, you can say, no, go. Subtract two. Subtract 2, I think, from what you're saying.
No, I can't say that either. That's the trend. Wait.
No. There's a number.
I know, is it?
It's not 66.
I know, but that, I feel like I'm gonna.
No, you can say it. It's not 68.
I know, it's 67.
Yes! 3 Labubus.
Apparently she saw that people were getting in trouble for doing it. I have not seen that literally anywhere. So sorry, Sydney, but this was so strange to people. There were those that were kind of like trying to defend her, and they were like, I think she thought he was saying 6'9", but that was not the case, because in the clip he's like, not 6'9", and she was like, no, I know. Like, she knew what he wanted her to say, but she just for some reason thought that it was a word she couldn't say. I don't know, you guys. Anyway, tons of people were reacting to this because they were just like, what do you mean this is where she's drawing the line? They said she was scared to say 6'7", but not my jeans are blue. Her genuine fear to say 6'7". The concept of thinking you would get in trouble for saying 6'7", but not the jeans ad. And then this one was just my favorite because honestly, it's so accurate. They said 2025 in one photo. And I just feel like you could see the fear in her eyes as he was asking her to say this out loud. But yeah, I don't know what she thought that it meant, but that's what Sydney had to say about 6'7" this week. Now, to get into what is being said about Abby Lee Miller and what Abby Lee is talking to the press about in terms of Nia, we're gonna get into all of that. As you guys know, if you've been following Dance Moms for a while, you know the experience left a lasting effect on the girls. And in her brand new memoir, Bottom of the Pyramid, Nia gets extremely honest about her experience on Dance Moms and what it was like growing up under the control of Abby Lee Miller and reality TV producers. Nia says that she often felt isolated and left out, and that Abby treated her differently than the other girls in a way that made her feel less than. She writes about how Abby would rarely give her the same opportunities as the other girls, and shares that she was constantly pushed to the background and dismissed, and even when she worked hard and succeeded, Abby would downplay her talent. Nia was confirming what so many people have felt while watching her journey play out on screen. Because I mean, you know, if you guys were watching Dance Moms, then you know that Nia was always at the bottom of the pyramid. They always made her seem less important than the other girls. It was so upsetting, and there's so many people that have looked back at Nia's dances and they have said, why was she doing these dances? Why were these dances called this? Why was this allowed? How was this allowed? Nia talked about how At one point, she was working on music, and she said that Abby allegedly offered Aubrey O'Day $10,000 to walk away and stop mentoring her. And she also said that this was all filmed, but apparently the producers edited it to protect Abby and the overall image of the show. She also shared that Abby made racist and stereotypical comments about her body, her hair, and her background. She writes that Abby once said Black people are physically predisposed to having flat feet, and when Nia struggled with pointing her toes, Abby told her that if you don't point that foot, I'm gonna come over there and break it. She also remembered a moment where Abby asked her, "Don't you wish you had white girl hair?" Like, there's no way to excuse these comments. I mean, there was just so much that Nia revealed, from the body shaming to a moment where the producers literally bought all the girl iPads because Abby made a comment towards Nia that was so wildly inappropriate that they had to buy them iPads to make up for it the next day. And she wrote about this in her book. And well, since the release of her memoir, Abby has now come out to address what was said. Abby told TMZ that she has different memories compared to what the girls have, and that she remembers doing a lot of good for them. And it's honestly just not surprising at all to hear Abby say this, because she has basically dismissed everything that the girls have ever said about her. And when there's people around her like JoJo Siwa that's like, yeah, you were hard on us, but you gave us a career, and I love you and I appreciate you for that. It's like, no, people can have different experiences, and Abby has just never been one to own up to any of the things that she said or did on the freaking show. She's just been like, I made these girls and that's that, period. You had a bad time, sucks. Like, she has had the worst attitude to handling how these girls have come out and said that they felt during this time. They were literally kids. And she was asked if she was going to be pressing charges against Nia for any of the things that she wrote in her book. And she said no, because it was free speech and Nia can say what she wants, but she just remembered things differently, which is just whatever. If that's how she wants to remember it, and that's how her and JoJo want to remember it together, because her and JoJo, when they get together, they think it's ridiculous anyone has anything negative to say about Abby. But on the topic of Abby, she did something so weird this week, and she got called out by Neil Patrick Harris, okay? He came after her for posting an insanely face-tuned picture of the two of them together. It straight up looks like she asked AI to generate a picture of her in a cute fur coat with Neil Patrick Harris. Like, I guess she was just trying to touch herself up, and then maybe it auto did him too. I really don't know, you guys. But she hit him with the craziest filter I've ever seen. Honestly, like, she looked more natural than he did. I don't know what the thought process was. Like, was she trying to be nice? She was just like, oh, he looks a little not so great. Let me put a little tune on him, and then posted it. And also, I just feel like when you Facetune somebody else, how are you not gonna try to like run it by them? Or I don't know, because if someone Facetuned a photo of me and didn't tell me that they were doing it, I'd be like, oh, so you think I look bad? There's no other way to interpret it other than you think I look bad, that I need a little tune up. It was just so weird and so random. And I mean, she was obviously proud of the edit because she posted it. And you guys, everyone was just dying when Neil Patrick Harris commented, because he was shocked. He commented and he said, what did you do to my face? Valid, so valid, because what did you do to his face? Seriously. People commented and they said, please, Neil, why did you yassify him, Miss Abby? Looking at these comments, I know she's rolling backwards in her wheelchair fast AF. Abby, why did you do that to Neil? Even Facetune chimes in and said, Abby, let me proofread your post next time, baby gorgeous. I'm still dead that she even posted that picture with full confidence, but I guess it's Abby that we're talking about, and she just doesn't care what other people think. She just does whatever she wants. So I guess that's what she's rolling with. But that is what Abby got called out for this week, and also what she had to say in response to Nia. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of that. Plus, Sydney Sweeney not wanting to say 6'7", and what show you think Trisha Paytas is about to be on. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.